Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Texture Capital, an institutional marketplace for private capital, has been granted FINRA membership approval to commence operations as a digital securities broker-dealer and operate an alternative trading system, or what's known as an ATS. Joining me is Richard Johnson, founder and CEO of Texture Capital. Richard, it's great to see you as always. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Hi, Jill. Good to see you.
Tell us about Texture Capital and why you made the jump from capital markets into digital securities.
Yes, thank you. So I set up Texture Capital last year, having been analyzing the kind of fintech marketplace before that at my previous employer, Greenwich Associates. And I'd always been fascinated with blockchain technology and the crypto markets. I got involved fairly early on, around 2014. And if you remember back in 2018, we had Jay Clayton saying things like, we had the ICO boom busting, and he said, every ICO I've seen is a security. These platforms need to be regulated. So that was my light bulb moment. I thought, yeah, I agree with that. And I'm going to go out there and kind of try and start a company to do that. So put the company together last year, 2019. I realized that to help companies issue security tokens, the best way to do that, I thought, was to be a broker dealer. So we filed an application with FINRA. That's a very lengthy process. It's lengthy, the best of times, but when you say you're using blockchain, which is a new technology, and that they have been very wary of, and obviously it's associated with some negative things around crypto, you get a lot of extra scrutiny. So we got our approval at the end of September, and we now have a license to do digital securities, initial offerings and issuance, primary markets for private placements. Typically Reg D securities. We'll do tokenization of previously issued securities. And we also have an ATS for secondary market trading.
And for the benefit of the audience, what is an ATS? What will that allow Texture Capital to do?
So an ATS is an alternative trading system. So it's a way that the SEC allows broker dealers to create technology to match buyers and sellers. It's a lower regulatory hurdle than you basically have exchanges like NYSE and Nasdaq, and then below that you have a number of different ATSs. I think there's about 30 or 40 of them out there doing different things. There's only a handful, maybe 3 or 4, that can do digital securities. So the real advantage I saw, my background going way back to 2000 has been in trading. One of the key advantages I saw of blockchain and of security tokens in particular was the way it enables transfer of value, trading. You can kind of come in there and put a digital framework and apply smart contracts on top of that to automate a lot of the processes and remove frictions. And then we hope, and we are aiming to build liquidity in our ATS doing it that way.
Would you say private markets are ripe for disruption? Yes,
they really are. It's a massive part of the economy. It's a very important part of the economy. In fact, 99.7% of companies are private. Private companies are responsible for 2/3 of net new jobs in the country. And also it's a massive capital market, so people don't really know. Most people, when they think of the capital markets, they think of the New York Stock Exchange floor or something like that. And the reality is that you actually have so much more activity going on in private markets. So in 2019, for example, there was $2.7 trillion of issuances in private markets, as opposed to only 1.2 trillion in registered offerings. So that's the market we're trying to tackle. It's very opaque, and the transactions happen. They're recorded often on they're transacted via paper. They're recorded in spreadsheets or in siloed tools. So we see a real opportunity in modernizing this market structure, bring it into the 21st century, and creating this more transparent way of doing things.
What does the future look like if DeFi continues to be leveraged?
So DeFi is a very interesting topic. I don't know if many of your viewers are familiar with that. It stands for decentralized finance, and it's kind of been an offshoot of the crypto world so far. But a lot of tremendous innovations going on in that space with regards to crypto. For example, I mean, there's stable coins, which is one part of it, which is essentially cryptocurrencies that are pegged to the US dollar, so they don't fluctuate as much. But beyond that, you have some other very interesting products that, for example, allow you to deposit cryptocurrency into a smart contract and withdraw a stable coin. Now, this may all sound a bit esoteric to some people, but let's try and translate that into traditional markets framework. What you could do, and now this is on our roadmap, not 2021, but in 2022, maybe, what you can do is take take security tokens, which are securities, and deposit them into a similar type of decentralized structure and withdraw a stable coin or cash. Essentially, what you're getting there is margin. That's what margin is. You're depositing securities and you're borrowing cash. Then you can go a step further, and then the securities can be lent out, but in a fully transparent way, which is an improvement over how things are being done in current markets. The stock loan process these days is not very integrated. There's been a lot of opportunities for what's called naked short selling, which has been a problem for the market for years. I think using blockchain technology can help solve that. So one of the things we want to do as part of our longer term vision is leverage all this innovation that's happening in crypto, but bring it into the regulated markets and really help revolutionize market structure for the private markets.
All right, certainly exciting. Richard, great to see you as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks.
Thanks so much. Good to be here.
You got it. And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.